You make a good faith effort, or at least I do. Okay, so first things first, before we get into the VODs, I want to know what your goals are with Overwatch.
All right. So basically, I'm trying to. Right now, I'm in the open division with my team.
Mm-hmm.
We're 2-0, and we're trying to do as best as we can in that, and hopefully get into contenders trials. Um, I'd like to become somewhat competitive in a pro scene. That would be something amazing for me. I've been practicing. Beginning of the season, I used to be 2.6, and at the moment, I am 3.7. So like, I've climbed quite a bit. I've been putting in a lot of hours watching like advanced guides and stuff like that. So I'm really serious about trying to improve my gameplay. I play main tank mostly, and in comp, I'll flex onto healer if needed. But yeah, it's basically what I like him. What I want to improve is my shot calling for my team in game, and like scrims and tournament matches and stuff, and just my overall main tank gameplay.
Okay. So you're trying to improve in like a team environment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, that's good because that's obviously different than improving in like a solo queue environment.
Mm-hmm.
And does your team know you're being coached?
Yeah, I actually paid for my whole team to get coached at one point, but we had
Oh, whoa,
trouble. We had trouble with that coach, and it didn't really end out
charlatans.
too well.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't recommend
I
that.
Yeah, I learned the hard way, but it's fine, you know. But yeah, so right now I'm trying to like get some coaching myself, and then if I can, like I'll get my team coaching as well. Like I don't mind paying for them as well. It's just as long as like a reliable coach, because I am very serious about this. My team is very serious about this, and we want to do our best. But yeah, we've been improving as a team quite a lot. We all started off like playing together when we were plats, and a lot of us now are like diamond and masters, and we've been doing it for about a month-ish, a month and a half, and we've all been taking it super seriously. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I do also do team coaching, by the way, so
Oh, okay.
I just haven't done it in a while since there haven't been many teams, you know,
Mm.
that wouldn't go to someone like me for a coaching because they prefer the charlatans because they look
Yeah.
prettier.
Actually saw a few of your VOD reviews on one of those coaching websites. I forgot what it was called,
Game Leap.
but yeah, that's it. I saw you doing a VOD review of some Ryan gameplay, and I actually learned a lot from that VOD review. So I decided to check out your stream as well. That's how I found your stream.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gotten. I should ask them if I'm doing anything more. I should. Who's that guy? Someone told me I was gonna be working with another website for coaching. That will be in a while. I should message him.
All right.
Okay, so for now, we're just gonna go over the VOD and anything that I think that we'll need to go more in depth with. We'll just talk about
Okay.
anymore.
All right.
Is
Cool.
there
Sounds good.
anything in particular you or your team are looking for to improve that maybe I'd be looking for in these VODs?
I mean, these VODs here, I just recorded these last night. I set up my capture device thing yesterday, and I started recording. So my settings might not be the best. I do apologize for that, but hopefully it's fine. Um, but yeah, so I haven't really had time to record scrims. I was just scrimming with them right now, and I left early so I could make it to
Oh my
this.
god. You could have told me.
No, it's fine, man. It's all good. Like we're scrimming in like another hour and a half anyway, so
Oh
it's
boy.
all good. We're scrimming all night tonight. because tomorrow we have our open division game and it's against the top 500 team and full GM team. So we're really trying to like focus on that. We're practicing a lot of Blizzard World because I figured that not many people like Blizzard World. So if we force ourselves to like Blizzard World, we'd have an advantage over this team. If you know what I mean, kind of.
True. A lot of the teams are picky with maps.
I think the first round in this I played Diva, which is I didn't want to play Diva, but
This is
a
solo queue.
So guys, yeah, this is solo queue. Both videos are solo queue. I didn't have any like I did this last minute. I literally set up my capture card yesterday and started grinding.
If you want me to review team VODs, I would recommend getting a VOD recorder to get a bird's eye view.
All right, like so not from my perspective, get someone else that's spectating to record. What you saying?
Yeah, like a 7th person that'll just sit in spectator. Did you say something about sleep?
Did I? About what?
About sleep? You say you were tired?
Oh, right now? Like I'm okay right now. But, like I am tired a lot of the time though.
Why?
I've got bad sleep insomnia. I've had it for like the past 5 years.
I see.
So yeah, sometimes I play like when I'm tired and it like affects my gameplay.
Yeah, that should definitely be something that you would want to look into for the sake of your game. Mental and physical health are actually very important. Like I could tell you from experience that I was only when I was playing on a team, I'd only actually play my best when I had like the maximum amount of sleep that was recommended, as well as like, exercise a bit in the morning, eat a decent meal. Like all that stuff actually comes into play in playing in a team environment.
Yeah, I normally I'm like tired when I wake up, but then at like 5 a.m. I'm wide awake and I feel so focused. It's weird.
Yeah, and also for your health, but
yeah,
we're focusing on the game. Also, since we're focusing, you say you want to play, you're focusing on team play. I'm going to be going with your solo queue gods VODs differently than I would, a little bit differently than I would just a normal person, because the way that you should be approaching solo queue is not to like climb rank or whatever. When you're playing solo queue as a team player, your interest should not be in winning every game or climbing rank. It should be learning how to play better. And that's really unfortunate because a lot of cases, the better play that's objectively better will not always be the best play for solo queue. Which is kind of dumb, but that's just the way it is. But it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah, I didn't expect to climb this much, honestly, this season. Like, my goal was to hit, like, mid-diamond, like, or high diamond, and I would have been happy. But just towards the end of the season, like, playing solo queue really, really late at night is just, I don't know, it's just managed to get me to 3.7 somehow.
Range.
I also don't feel like I belong there sometimes. Like, I feel like I don't know, I feel like I should be around like high diamond, but definitely not 3.7. I feel like I climbed too quickly and I might have gotten lucky.
So let's start with
this. I'm not
this.
arguing with it. All right.
Also, another thing is that because you're not just going to be playing solo queue, you're going to be in a team environment, I'm going to have to like try to drill into your brain a thought process that's going to help you in VOD reviews, because wait, does your team VOD review?
Not all of them, but like me and 2 others, we normally VOD review together in chat, but like some of them aren't able to make it at times, and they just play. But then once we look at the VOD reviews, I'll kind of like go over it with them and tell them, all right, like I saw in this VOD review that you did this and this, and I'll try and highlight it, but not all of them really show up to the VOD reviews.
Okay, so if you want to be a serious team, you have to put more effort, literally more, into VOD reviewing than you actually do the game. All professional teams spend more time VOD reviewing than they do playing. or like doing practice in custom games or drilling or practicing strats or talking about strats, etc. All that stuff is
Okay.
actually more important than scrimming. And there are a lot of teams that I've known. Like I was also a part of a team that scrimmed 6 hours a day and no VOD reviews, and we got nowhere because we didn't actually learn anything.
Hmm.
And then, like on the team that I was on, just 1 hour VOD review and 4 hours of scrims, we improved so much more than the 6 hour scrim team. And then, like, if you want to be like actually pro, like Envision, they did like 6 hours of VOD reviews and then 4 hours of scrims. But you know, they were full time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's
And
just because like some of the our schedules are a little messed up. I've got a few of my real life friends in the team, and they are in the US, and then there's other people on the team that are from EU. So like that's why we struggle to do VOD reviews together, but we do scrim daily with each other. It's like at a certain time.
how often or how long do you guys scrim?
Depends. Sometimes it could be like one scrim, sometimes it could be like seven.
So
It's
2 hours to set 14 hours? How long is a scrim block?
no, a scrim. I'd say like a scrim could be like between 45 minutes to like an hour and a half. I'd say depending on how quick the games go.
Where do
But
you find scrims?
oh, there's loads of servers. Like I'm just in a server called. I mean, I don't know if I should say it on your stream, but I'm just in a server where you could basically find a load of scrims. All you need to do
The
is
OW?
no, it's just literally a scrim finding server, just called Overwatch Scrim Finder. And like I just type in chat, okay, looking for scrim, 3.5k average, and then within like 10 minutes I'll get 3 messages saying you guys ready, like let's scrim. So it's really not that hard for me to find scrims.
All right. Well, I suppose that works. Never heard of it, but if it works, it works.
Mm.
But so I guess I should ask how many hours of scrims?
Um, I'd say between 1 hour to 4 hours, depending, but it is pretty much daily when we
Okay,
scrim. So it's not like we're only doing it 2 or 3 times a week. We are doing it daily.
right.
Some days it could be an hour, some days it could be 4 or 5, depending on people's schedules, if they're able to play more or not.
Okay. Well, on the days that I assume you have like a maximum of 4 hours together with
Yeah,
everyone's schedules. Okay.
yeah.
If
Because some of us are
you,
in college and stuff, so people need to leave to go to classes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would just try to find make sure everyone's clear on like this is like the team time zone.
Mhm.
Like that everyone is going to be for sure have this set of 4 hours that we're gonna play as a team.
Mhm.
And on the days that if you book 4 hours of scrim, that's fine, but you need to spend some days where like 2 of those hours or at least one of those hours you look at one of your VODs from the team. Hopefully you get a VOD recorder and you just watch how you play and figure out what you could be doing better, because that's going to do so much more for you than just another extra hour of scrimming.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so to the gameplay, I paused there because I wanted to see what do you think you're doing wrong right now.
Um,
Oh,
First of
also,
all,
do you want me to screen share on Discord so that way there's no delay?
yeah, that'd be great actually.
Hold on.
Um,
Oh, leaked DMs, dude.
I'm not a diva player, by the way. Like I just played diva because we needed one. We had a monkey that was pretty adamant on playing monkey, so I just went diva. So my diva gameplay is trash. But next round I'll be playing Ryan, which is like one of my normal roles that I play.
Alright,
There we
there's
go.
this
I see it.
screen share. You see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Right now there's no delay.
Next map.
Okay,
That's
well,
perfect.
the thing is like, even if you're not a diva player,
Mhm.
you're a main tank, right?
Yeah.
So your closest relationship is with the other tank player. which is what you're playing right now, effectively, if we're going by those role definitions. So if you were the monkey, what would this diva player, which is you, is doing wrong right now?
I wasn't with my monkey. I should be with my monkey and try and see who he dives and follow up.
Right now, you are like in the front of the line. Like here's you. And then somewhere way back here is your monkey still rolling out. And the way that like this dive works is that you need to be like behind monkey and the team, so that way you can matrix your whole team and matrix your monkey in, so that he can get a comfortable dive without having to use his shield. Then you get in, then you use the bubble, and then you regenerate your matrix, and hopefully you kill someone in that time.
Okay, so I use my matrix as we're diving?
Right.
Or like, okay.
That way your monkey can jump in without everyone just shooting him. I can move this over. Oh, it's freaking out. I'm sure it's fine. Maybe I should minimize this.
Yeah, it's my first time setting up like this recorder, so I thought it would be like better quality, but hopefully it's fine.
Might just be because I'm streaming it twice.
Ah, okay.
Next map.
And watch this again. So you already used your rockets, by the way, for spam, which you don't really need to do until, like, you know, the dive. Now you used all your matrix, so your monkey doesn't have it, so you should probably tell your monkey that you don't have matrix. He goes for a dive on someone. Right now, you see how the Ana just, like, completely separated? Like, this way? I am on the line tool, apparently.
Me and the monkey should have went there, I guess.
Well, you should be calling it.
Yeah. I didn't call too much in this game, just only from time to time.
So if you're playing you're playing to improve in a competitive team environment, this little sign where it says you are talking should be here like 80% of the time.
Yeah.
When you're playing solo queue. Because here's the thing, and this is what literally like every single tier 2 player does not understand who plays solo queue. Is that when you're trying to make it an Overwatch League or whatever, and you're playing solo queue, that is your practice time outside of team environment. That is where you practice your mechanics, your habits, your communication skills. Because a lot of tier 2 players or tier 3 players, they do not have those. And it's because they play a lot of solo queue where they're like, all these people are below me, they don't scrim a day in their lives, I don't need to talk to them. But it's not about them, it's about you. This is literally your hyperbolic time chamber where you get to practice your stuff without having to worry about scrims or your team. This is all about your own habits. So when you come to this point where you and Monkey are diving, and presumably if you had like a correct comp, which I just hope that you do, and you have a Lucio, if this Ana does this and the rest of their team does this, then you scream, Ana, go in kitchen. Ana's separated. Everyone speed boosts in. They can't stop you. You kill Ana, then you could rotate back, dive Zen on your next cooldown rotation, win the game.
Okay. Got it.
And because, again, this is solo queue, so the odds that your team is even in voice channel is a 50-50, and then the chance that they actually listen to you is another 50-50, but that's irrelevant. Because you're not here to try to guide your team to victory. You're here to try and practice your habits and your communication habits so that you could call this on reaction. Because the fact that you, like, if I saw this and I was master and known this in voice, I would be like, Ana in the kitchen, like that, because I can't, you know, because I'm bad.
And you know dash?
No, two, your team is dead, your monkey's dead, you're dead.
Monkey's one.
Not so bad. So we're on Lucio now. On Reaper, not a bad pick.
Should go main. Should go main.
Okay, so your monkey used bubble, so you know we're not diving for the next 10 seconds. Let's go mid and dive. Got on point. This is a misplay. What should you be doing here?
Communicating with my monkey and trying to push them off the high ground.
No. Although
should I
that
do that?
is an option. If you see, like, the Ana or Zen, like, in a position that you could just go with. But I don't see Ana or Zen right now. So I wouldn't go on a blind dive. But
Okay.
what you should be doing here is that you know that they have at least 2 things, technically 3 things that hit from long range.
Mhm.
If anyone on your team just happens to like be out of line and get focused or discorded, really, you need to be able to matrix that, because this is why I say in dive D.Va is the main tank. Because your team is clearly the plan for the team is to roll out towards point, towards right side and get on the point. But during that time, there's no protection, because Monkey isn't just gonna deploy his bubble just so that you can your team could walk past this main choke a little bit and then get on the point, and then he has no bubble, because that's bad. He wants to have his bubble for the fight. But you have Matrix, which is a more flexible protection tool. So when you're walking in with this rollout, you need to have vision of your whole team. So that if you ever see, like, oh, your Ana gets discorded, I'm saying this because Ana died, I assume she got discorded. If Ana or Lucio or Reaper or even your monkey is getting discord and focused from these long range heroes, or they want to start posturing for a dive, you need to be already ready to do it, so that way you could start matrixing. Because Zen shot, Ana shot, Genji no shurikens, or if Tracer is close enough and she like double blinks and starts clipping, then that's going to be enough to kill any of these people. But as you walk in, you matrix just for yourself.
Yeah,
And you don't have your supports and vision here. I mean, you have Lucio, but there's like one person behind you, and that's the one who died. Like this Ana probably got shot by something. Monkey didn't one-shot Ana, as far as I know. I can't see the health bar, and like it looked like Tracer was there too. So maybe, like, you know, if you're just there to matrix your Ana and also charge the monkey away and then get on point, then they're split because their monkey jumped, so he's away from the rest of the team, and if they were to follow monkey, then you guys are on point and you have an advantage. Or, you know, you could just kill, you know what I mean. But you would be able to save Ana here. And then this fight could maybe go better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and
I
this
played
comes
very
back
badly
into
this
team
round.
play. Because, and I know you're not the D.Va player in your team, but it's still there's no useless knowledge for you as a team player, obviously. But if you're playing D.Va, for rollouts, as like a dive team, you're the one that's going to dictate where your team can move, because Matrix is the thing that will protect your team from poke and snipes as you roll out. Just like you would with a Reinhardt shield, you know. And this is fine, they blow Nanoblade Trance in the spawn area, because that's a good idea. That'd be a good time to check tab for longer than a millisecond. So they used at least 3 ults. And you're going to be coming up on ult advantage here, so you should be ready to win. And also, it's 99. It's going to be 99. You wouldn't want to practice in your head, because you say you're shot caller, right?
Yeah.
For a shot call, you need to be looking to tab even more then, because you really need to think about how fights are going to be playing out.
Okay.
Oh, their D.Va just
Yeah,
ulted.
I communicate like a lot during scrims, but in solo queue, I don't really. I try to talk, but like I have it on push to talk instead of just open mic, so I tend to forget to do it. But that's something that I should work on, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I said, you're playing to just build your habits, because when you're in a team environment, you don't want to be putting mental effort into your shot calling and like your target calling or whatever. it wants to just be a thing where you do just that as a habit, because then your real brain power is going towards your decision making and micro positioning in fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So you practice in game saying, okay, they use this ult, they only have this available, we have more ults. Even if you, like, you should try to say that out loud, because someone on your team might be listening, hopefully. And then you would say, okay, if they just use Diva Bomb, so they only have 2 ults available. What ults those are? They use Blade, so what? Pulse Bomb, and whatever else they have. But they don't have their trance, so should be fine. Oh, Monkey ult. They maybe have Primal Rage, big deal. You have Reaper, it's not a big deal. So you should be able to go into this fight and not even use all of your ults, and you should be okay. So as a shot caller, you would want to say, okay, let's only use this ult and this ult, unless things get worse. And right now, okay, we went a little too far. So as they're rolling out, you need to keep an eye on the kill feed. So you saw that 2 more people just died, and a Diva Bomb went down. So there's really no reason for you to be walking up this far. And you're doing the thing again, like, you're playing Diva, but you need to have your team envisioned so that way you could help them roll out. Like, I don't even know if you're going to be able to retake the point after this. I think this is a throw. Like, if you just stayed in spawn, or like close to spawn, and organized your team to roll out together, you could have been able to retake, because you have ult advantage, they don't have anything left. But like, this death is going to waste so much time, you're not going to be able to touch point again.
Yeah, I fucked that up pretty badly right at the end.
Oh, back cap though? Oh my god. Monkey can get there in time. 3.
I get outplayed by this Diva so hard.
Yeah.
The body blocks.
But you wouldn't have won if you made it on point anyway. The point where the throw happened was when you rolled out with half of your team dead.
Alright, this is where I swap onto Ryan now.
Respectable.
I just told this guy, I was like, listen, I can't play Diva for shit, just let me play Ryan, please.
Ryan Monkey isn't bad.
If we have fair, can we get Mercy to go with her?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Ooh.
Go tank. Oh, soldier. Or tracer, I don't know. As you are.
Walking up, okay. I think your team went right side. You should try to, like, when you're playing Ryan.
I should look back more.
Yes, you should. But also you should be telling your team, like, the micro positionings of where to go. And on this particular approach, I think you should just be on the right side. They're playing dive, they're going to have more flankage. You want to be able to control the elephant side as well. It's going to be harder for them to attack from the left side unless they literally go inside that mega health room. But it's okay, you made it over. But that's the kind of thing you'd want to communicate, because you want to get to these chokes as soon as possible. Because then you're going to... Oh, that was lucky. You're going to force their tanks to use their cooldowns to try and get past you, instead of just walking in. Because, like, what does a dive tank duo want to do? They want to just walk in and not have to use their jump cooldowns to start, you know, doing any damage or getting any effectiveness. But if you're controlling a choke already, the only way they can get a dive right is by using their jump, and then they're trapped, and then you can focus them better.
Yeah, this is Zen. He's in the front, and he's half. Nice.
Alright, what happened?
Oh, I'm sorry. Someone just rang my doorbell. I'll literally be like 1 minute. I'm really sorry.
Oh, okay.
Just give me
Go
like
for
1
it,
minute.
Go for it, it's fine.
Thanks. Yeah.
Ooh. I do free coaching. It's the VOD reviews are for subs. This one I'm doing for free. I mean, he already donated, but I'm doing this one because this is the first time that I'm like actually doing like one-on-one coaching, which is like something different than just like mass production VOD reviews like I do in the Discord for subs. This is a different product, obviously. You need a coach? I can coach, dude. Alright, let's take a look. So everyone's alive right
Tracer
here.
Genji, right side.
We got one kill.
He was low.
Or it was junk in all this. Because I feel like after you get a kill, you should just be thinking more slow. But he's still swinging after nothing, by the way. See, now he's chasing a target that he can't reach and is also getting healed. So even if... I don't know, dude. Then he like, this charge was us lucky. This charge shouldn't have even happened. Like, onto the Tracer. That's just fortunate. Like, look at all this swinging and not a lot of protecting. And, like, now you get the point. You have 2,000 shield health. It's just too aggressive. We'll talk about it when he gets back. Keep bang a ring.
I'm back.
Hello.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Right.
That's fine. So, I just went over again real quick to look at it more.
Okay.
So, as a general rule, whenever you get you're one up in a fight,
Tracer and Genji, right side.
your mind should start shifting towards slower play. So right now, their Genji dies, right?
Okay.
And you have 1,700 shield, effectively 2,000 because you're regenning. How much of your shield do you actually use for the rest of this team fight? It's gonna end up being like 0. This charge on Tracer shouldn't have even happened. It's very lucky. So we're just going to say that this is still 5v5 because, like, you know, 99 times out of 100 it still is. But you're still swinging. And, like, you're still down. And now
so
here
once we get a pick, I should play a lot slower. Then.
You should get your team to move together. Because everyone on your team is like trying to finish the fight faster. But like the point just now became contestable. Or like it did like a moment ago. So there's no rush. Just look for one, group together, make sure no one dies. And that's something that you have to do as a main tank shot caller. So here, like, you need to tell your team, look right side, I'm holding shields. Then you would be here, you would hold shields, Zen wouldn't discord anyone. Your team wouldn't take any damage. And then the Zen will die. Like, look at the Zen, he's not going anywhere. There's no Lucio, so we have to walk all the way this way, or all the way this way, or all the way this way, or jump off the map in order to, like, be free from this pain. And, like, you have the point, or, like, you're about to have the point. After this diva, it's 100% hold shield and just move together. Like, there's nothing left to do. Like, this right here, what you're doing, this is what you do until this fight's over. But you keep going in and you're swinging, and then your team starts dying. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Hold on, does anyone see something wrong here? I just now noticed you don't have ally health bars turned on.
Oh. I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay, let's go over this real quick. In game, go to options.
Okay.
I think where is it? Is it in gameplay?
I actually thought it was only for supports. I didn't know you could do it on like other heroes.
Here, hero, allied health bars on. Turn that on as default for every hero.
All right, got it.
Because right now, I don't think you're aware of like how damaged your team is.
Yeah, that's actually huge. I had no idea about that.
Because obviously that's really important for tanking. Why that's off by default, I will never understand, of course. But you need to have it on. Oh.
All hail
Wait,
the
I didn't mute
DPS
my...
overlord.
Ah. Thank you, Exiled Odysseus. I forgot to mute the thing like I said I would do. Like an hour ago. Thank you for the resub.
Yeah, this is Zen. He's in.
Turn on.
Himself.
Wait, is there an option turning me health bars on when they take any damage from all your team? That's not an option yet. It should be an option.
Nice.
Alright, so that fight... I mean, this whole thing would help if you had ally health bars, but...
Yeah, and if I held shield up more, I guess my supports wouldn't have died.
Right. Basically, the way that you think of it is that by holding shield, you're down one character, but you'll never go down another as long as you have shield. So if you're already up one, then you just become, you know, a wall. So it's 5v5. But now you can't go to 4 people until your shield is dead. So surely by the time that your shield would die, you go to 5v4 or 5v3.
Yep.
Move in with Mora ult. Really split up though. I wouldn't even have done that.
The charge on Diva?
Yeah. I'm sure at this point they have support ults, but if we're gonna play in a team environment, let's think about the macro game here. So you get up here, a blade goes down. I guess you do this charge or you make this decision before like anyone dies, but let's just say that like, you know, that Diva bomb killed someone and then you're this Dragon Blade, so there's like another person here dead. If you go for that charge, what is it doing functionally?
Nothing really. So I should try to. I mean, one thing I'd like to do sometimes, it's risky, but I don't know. I probably shouldn't do it, but when I see an ulted Genji, I'll just try to charge them.
Oh, I do that too. It's worth
okay.
it sometimes.
Yeah. I probably
But-
should have went for the Genji there instead of try to charge the Diva, I guess.
Yeah, you should have charged off the map at this point.
Oh,
Because
okay.
by charging the Diva, you don't build any ult charge, and now Zen's like, oh boy, free 300 ult charge.
Okay.
Because this fight's over from like the moment that blade went down and your team was so split.
So I'm just giving them ult charge at this point.
Right.
Speed boost and we grab and use road of it.
Then we roll out again. You need to be the line leader. That's a fortunate pick.
Speed boost, speed boost, speed boost.
You're moving way too far up.
Mac, no deep.
You got saved by sound barrier, but you didn't even need to get saved. That was every ult except yours.
Yeah.
So
I didn't use my ulti last fight either because I spoke. I like the Zarya said that she was going to use hers, so I
Mhm.
didn't want to
that's
use
fine.
mine as well on top of that.
Let's go.
Speed boost, speed boost.
So around here, I don't know how much you're looking at your own life bar, but you should be a lot just as a tank player. But over here, once you move on Diva, once you hear the little sound of the orb of discord getting put on you, you need to put up your shield, because I'm pretty sure that this Lucio is only sound barriering because you're about to die and you're discorded.
Okay.
Mac, no deep.
And if anyone on your team is being damaged and that's the reason why you're sound burying, you maybe wouldn't even need to do that if you just go up and shield. Like right now, like here's how I would see it.
Let's go.
So you see most of them are on the right, like they're ranged heroes, and their tanks are on front line. So Monkey just did this dive, right?
Yeah.
So right now, your team is going to be attacked from this angle and this Monkey. So you going on Diva, how long is it going to take you to kill Diva?
Sorry, say that again.
How long would it take you to kill Diva?
Like four like at full HP, 4 or 5 swings and a fire strike. I guess.
More like 7.
Okay.
It would take you a while. It during that time, if she's ever in danger, she's just gonna fly away. So getting in a real engagement with her is really bad. And we know later that the Zen comes over here to discord you, but if that Zen and the rest of their team are going forward into where the Monkey dived, and if you walk forward and the Dio's just like, peace, I'm out, and just goes on the rest of your team, you're not protecting your team anymore.
Yeah, I'm just playing solo pretty much and trying to frag out.
Yeah.
Which is what I shouldn't do.
Exactly. Like, as soon as you see that Monkey dive, you need to start walking backward. And you should try to maybe even charge the Monkey to get to your team faster also. Because then if you hit the pin, it's even better. That should be your first reaction. So you go on Diva. Diva, I just assume, has fly, so she doesn't even need to be here. She matrixes you because why not? And Zen decides to come over here and discord you. But if Zen was going for the dive and Anna's looking at the Monkey as well, they're both looking at Diva, but Diva should be totally safe from you with a jump jet. So if they all go in on the dive, then your team is dead. And against a better team, like, and if this was a scrim, this is exactly what would happen. You would be walking in, the healers would be like, we're gonna go dive. Diva's gonna be like, we're gonna go dive. And then you're just on point alone, and then you have to charge back, but by that time, someone on your team could be dead. Yeah. Like, if the other team was bookkeeping, and they knew that your Lucio had ulti, and they just, like, insta-dived him, he would attempt to sound barrier, and then he'd die before he lands.
It's one of my bad habits that I need to work on is that I try to frag out too much as a tank. Because when I used to play in, like, Plat and Low Diamond, like, I pretty much had to carry myself, but now that I'm in, like, Masters, I feel like I should be protecting my DPS more and just like my whole team, not just my DPS, but make them as much space as possible. That's something that I've been trying to work on a little bit.
Were you around for the infinite DPS monkey theory?
No. What is that?
So you know the infinite monkey theory where, well, do you know what that is? The normal one? Or if you have a bunch of monkeys typing on a typewriter, eventually one of them writes Shakespeare?
Oh, I haven't heard of it, but...
Oh. Well, given an infinite amount of monkeys and an infinite amount of time typing on typewriters, eventually one reasonably would write Shakespeare, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you, as a tank player, can keep your DPS and your healers alive for an effectively infinite amount of time, eventually you'll become a good team and you'll kill people.
Mm.
So if you're spending more of your time keeping your team alive, doing that is going to...
for them.
Right, it's more time for them. Yeah. Because basically your survival is how long your team can play.
Alright, yeah, got it. Alright, that's good.
Mac, no diva. No diva.
Your team eventually overpowers them, your ult advantage speaks for itself. So you have Shatter. Are you gonna meme?
I don't know, I guess. We'll find out.
We're memeing. Oh, and the team just casually blows 2 more ults into it, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that and I just thought, damn.
So, I'm sure this wouldn't happen. Surely, your pro team wouldn't ever dump 2 more ults into the
Yeah,
shatter.
we wouldn't have never done that.
Surely. I'm sure I'm gonna watch a scrim VOD where your team does exactly that. But as a shot caller, you should be doing a lot more to set this up. Like, the fact that this is going down and you and no one is saying anything is the real issue here. Like, going for the meme shatter, fine, go for it. Although I personally would do it on this side, because most teams will roll out more in this direction or this direction. So they're more likely to see you, you know? So I would meme in here, or like in this little hallway, if you wanted to do it that. But when you go for this, you should say, okay, team, I'm gonna do flank shatter here. Make sure you like play in mid to look, you know, delicious for their dive. So that way they're more enticed to go middle. And then when you see, where does it happen? When you see, okay, here it comes.
Should I be charging into those shatters or no?
We'll see. It depends. So when you see this, you should immediately say no ults. No more ults.
Yeah.
Because this is a 4-man shatter and Zen is in it. There's no way you lose this. And as for charging, I think it's a no. Because right now they're all so grouped up that after
Should
this,
just be swinging.
yeah, you should just swing. You literally get more damage from swinging than charging here. Only time that you would need to charge is if they were getting tranced, and so you need to instant kill one, or if like okay, there's 2 other situations. Another one is if you could ring them out of the map, then you would just charge immediately and no fire strike, because then, you know, you just, like, let's say the ledge is right here, you would boop D.Va into this wall, and then the rest would just get flung over, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then let's say this was like a little more awkward of a shatter, like D.Va was here, but then the other 3 were like over here. You can't swing into this, right? So you have to charge into it, and you'll get the 50 AoE damage on all of them still, and your team should be able to clean up the rest of the damage. But right here, you wouldn't want to do that. Alternately, if your team was actually, you know, more prepared than, you know, they are, which could have happened if your team was actually ready to follow up, you wouldn't do any damage.
Yeah.
Because let's say that like this was a team environment and you're like, hey, I'm going for shatter here, it's going to be here, and then you like knock all 6 of them, you should literally just emote, because your team wants all of this ult charge, but you're not going to get any ult charge while they're still stunned. So it's actually better for you to let your team take these kills and then stagger this D.Va, hopefully. So then you just, then your team gets like 50 million ult charge, because you're not getting anything. Assuming that you know that they will die. If like it's getting close, like right now Anna just healed them, maybe like if there was a Lucio and he's like heal amping while he's shattered, it could be a little dicey. So you could like throw in a fire strike. But once you realize that the fight is over, if they're still stunned, don't swing until the shatter is over, so that way you can start getting ult charge again.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think of that before, but I'll try to do that more. That's good.
Let's get back to point.
Push. Okay, never mind.
Get back.
Yeah, I was trying to tell them here to back up a little bit and not get too aggressive.
Yep. Needs to check tab. Oh, there you did it. Oh, no ults. Okay, Mr. Shot Caller. What do you do here?
Tell my team to back up a little bit and
I just realized you're against a 6 stack. Holy moly.
yeah. Well, I just realized that
Good
right
job,
now.
Blizzard. So, what do you think they're gonna have ult-wise?
They'll have a nano, and probably a D.Va bomb because they haven't used it yet, and maybe Genji.
Okay. Seems reasonable. I think they have trance too, I think. They're probably gonna have almost everything. We could just safely assume that they have a lot of ults, right? What does your team have?
Nothing.
Exactly. So the closest thing that you can get is like maybe a barrier, maybe a grav. But judging from the game timer, we can make a smart decision about what to do. What do we do? There is a correct call.
I guess we shouldn't let them get one more push. We should probably try and pick, like the tracer should try and pick one of them off early in the back line so we have numbers advantage. But try not to let them get a 6v6 team fight in right at the end.
So your
So-
expectation of this next fight should not be to win, right?
Yeah, it's I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not too sure really.
Well, if the other team has at least 4 ults and you have 0, should you expect to win? Remember what happened
No.
the last time when they had 0 ults and you had 4?
Yeah, they lost.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is that this clock is going to go to 99% over time. And hopefully, with the best outcome for you is that they blow all of their ults.
Mm-hmm.
And then, with 77% remaining, that gives you
Go
enough
for last
time for
push.
your team to regroup and push again. And if this fight goes well, the way that this should go, that you force them to use ults and you save your ults, and then you get to take this last fight with ult advantage. Because
Okay.
you only need to win 1 fight. They need to win 2 fights. That's what this game timer is telling you. So you could give up one of the fights and then win the one that actually matters.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So the way that you need to approach a fight like this, where you need to force ults, is that you need to still play to win. Because if you're, like, in their mind, they're like, okay guys, we don't want to waste every ult here, but we do need to win. So they're like, you know, on the edge of thinking we need to ult or we need to not ult, because they can't, like, in their minds, they can't risk not using ults. But obviously, the best fight for them is to win this with no ults, and then they guarantee the second fight. So you need to find a way to get them to force ults, and the most important ult for your team to force right now is Transcendence. And there's a Nanoblade, that's good. Right now, you should tell your team to try and find Zenyatta and just hunt him down. Because if you die to Nanoblade, that's whatever. Like, of course you're gonna die to a Nanoblade. But if we could get Zen to Trance, that's more important.
Need some heals, please?
Nanoblade is all they used.
We have one more push, group up.
Basically, this fight was just too passive. In order to force their hand, you have to have a plan. So now you're gonna have to go into this fight while they I assume that they have Transcendent. You're going a little too fast.
There's the point. Finish. I got Gravin 6.
That's very fortunate. Then doesn't get to use it.
Huge. Huge.
There we go. Ended up being pretty much what should have happened. They used Nanoblade.
Oh, yeah. Pause it here and forward it to like 10 minutes 35. That's the part I was telling you about that we need to skip.
Oh boy. Oh, did you press F9
Yeah, why?
to save a replay? Is that what it does?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, what's the first mistake you've made?
Uh, playing Reinhardt?
Playing Ryan on this map?
Okay. I should have went Orisa, I guess.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just probably. Oh, we're taking an old school fight. Oh my god.
Shield going down, be careful.
Yeah, I completely fucked that up. That was on me.
Did you have junk?
No, we didn't.
No, you had junk. Your team was running, I think, like the same things.
Oh yeah, we did actually. He was in front of me.
So the only way that you can like come out on these is like you're basically taking a coin flip. You have to have literally just the best rollout because they get here first. They have Moira, so you're actually at disadvantage because you have Anna. Unless your Anna's literally like God, but Moira's still better. If you had Orisa, you would threaten them with the ult, obviously, and then you'd probably just go point,
They don't going to group up.
zone them off. Because, like, let's say, like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna see here.
The thing with Orisa, like, I've got a decent win percentage on her. I've got like 30 games played and 70% win percentage. But I honestly don't feel like I'm doing much. I just feel like I'm just a big target that doesn't really die quickly. But I'm not doing like, I don't have too much of an impact in team fights. I don't know.
Well,
like,
that's what tanking is about.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like, yeah, I guess that is what tanking is about. But I just feel like I can't do as much on her. It's something that I'm trying to work on a little bit.
Yeah. So if you're Orisa here, the first thing that you would be able to do that
Try and pull them
you
off.
could threaten to halt them off the map, sure. But if your team gets to the point and they do this, what do they do?
Just try and hold. Like I'll keep my shield up, I guess, and they play
But
behind
what
me.
can they do? They can't
If I
walk
was-
along this bridge anymore. Because if they do, you halt them.
Yeah, true.
So they have to force you to move, but with their comp, their only ranged damage is Junkrat and Hog, which is enough, but it's not like huge. And with the cover of inside of the little balcony place, they're kind of not going to be able to, like, your team's going to be able to spam that divine shield enough that they're going to be so threatened from going this point that they just can't do it. So their only good option is to come all the way back here and fight in through this way, or they try to like do a full rotation. If they do a full rotation, then you could just get on the other side of the map and do pretty much the same thing. And if they try to go middle, then you could then you just have to focus shield. So you're funneling them into one strategy that's reliable, which is going middle onto the point with the cover, because that's all their comp is capable of, is taking the close range fight. They're all close range heroes, and Junkrat is like the only thing that's like effectively ranged. But still, he needs the team to be in close, because they're playing Ryan, Zarya, Hog, Lucio, whatever, Moira. So they have to all stay close together. But they can't go through here, and they can't do like a full rotation. It's just a waste of time. So when you playing Junkrat, Orisa, Hog, Zarya, or whatever, the same thing that you're playing now, if they go this way, you have Annonade potential against the wall. Would you have halts to assist with Annonades, by the way? You're still going to run Anna. And during this whole time, Junkrat's going to be spamming over this wall, getting free Riptire, and it's so much better for you if you were running Orisa. But now if you're running Reinhardt and you both go up here, it's literally just a coin flip. Because you're both running effectively the same comp. And it's just about who's going to spam more shield, who's going to save more shield, who's going to get the random charge, who's going to get the random hook, etc. This is like how like bad pro teams play.
Okay.
But good pro teams don't take fights to coin flips. They want to play the range control game.
So in that situation, I should have like backed out a little bit and told my team to move around and not take the fight on the high ground, or what?
If you get to this point where they already have full control of this area, you cannot fight from here anymore, because their point of cover is closer to them than your point of cover is to you. And by that, I mean, let me blackboard it real quick so I can draw. So let's say Let me make this a little smaller. Yeah. So this is about what we're working with. Enemy team is positioned up here. And your team is positioned right about here. What is the issue?
They've got the high ground and we don't.
Well, even if... Well, the high ground isn't really even the biggest issue, because it's like, what, 1 foot of high ground, effectively? It's still something, but what's really important is that they have this. Where is this for you? All the way back here. And, like, there's some over here, but it's not good enough. So the distance between them and their safety point is like 1 second of walking. For your team, it's like 5. So if anything goes wrong, then you have to commit 5 seconds in advance to start walking backward, which takes like grand foresight. For them, they don't even need to worry. The moment that they see something's going wrong, they could just take cover immediately. And then your team gets to walk up. But by walking up, you still need to have your shield held. You still need to be using your healing resources while they could just chill. Then, if you do get in range, it's a close range fight, but they've had the time to regen. Even if it's just a little bit. Whereas for you, if the shield goes equal, like if the fight is totally equal here, like they're taking just as much damage as you are, from this positioning, you still lose. Because their tanks can just rotate in and out of cover, but your team is not capable of doing that because you don't have cover. Physical cover in this game is like so ridiculously important. Because it's literally allows you to get free healing or free shield regen for no punishment. And that's what they have available right now, but you don't. Because you need to go all the way back here to do it. So if you're taking this, like, this bridge fight, if you don't get here first, then you're in trouble. And if you're going to take the game to just who gets here first, that's just coin flipping, and that's bad play.
So what would be the ideal comp to run on this map?
I think Orissa's really good. Lucy was obviously very good. Healer could be, I mean, well, at this point, if we're going to talk about, like, comps, like in patch, in Season 10, Brigette's probably just going to exist.
Yeah.
So, you could play, like, the Lucio Zen Brigitte comp, maybe with Orisa instead of Rhine. It's probably good. Or even, like, Mercy Brigitte. Or Mercy Zen Brigitte.
Okay. Alright then. Luckily, this map isn't really in the open division,
Going
though.
down, be careful.
Oh,
Got,
good.
like a set map set.
Also, someone asked earlier why charge here. It's actually,
Because I panicked.
I don't think this charge is bad, actually.
Careful.
Really?
Because at this point, the only way that you're going to do anything effective in this fight is if you charge. Because what the other option is walk backwards, but then you've already lost the fight anyway, and they're going to chase you, and he's going to hook you eventually, or you're just going to get jump spammed. You might as well try something, because like, I think this guy who just died, who shouldn't have died, I think he died before you made this decision to charge, by recall. Okay, he just now died, so you actually had time.
Down, be careful.
But you do get some ult charge out of it. Of course, it gets returned. But I don't think it's bad. Because what else are you going to do? You're going to feed either way. You might as well do something to maybe help your team escape or help your team get, like, the fattest anti-nade or something. Because, you know, you don't have shield anymore. Of course, it would be better to just get out before you're forced to charge. But, oh, that was so risky.
My ultimate is charging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got booted back.
You're doing this thing a lot, where you
I have shadow.
go out in front of your whole team when it's clear you need to reset. Like, you're not calling for resets and you're not playing for resets. And it causes you and your whole team to stagger a lot. Like, right now, if you dare walk any further, oh my god.
Left side, he's out of
You're
position.
doing it, I guess. Like, he didn't even need to ult. He just ulted just to do that.
I didn't
my
expect
God.
anyone to be there on the left side. Feels bad.
This is master tier.
You should push on this, go point.
Push. Oh, what the fuck?
Highlight requested.
Oh my god!
Did it again, by the way. Like, when you get this pick and you see that your team's at numbers advantage, which you should be checking by holding tab and looking around on the map. Like right here, like, why do you even go to the point? You saw the Zarya walk in on your team. That was a nice kill on the tire, though. But, like, you should have helped your team. You went onto the point, your Zarya just killed someone, you might kill someone else rolling out, and now they're killing you. If you went to your team, there's a chance you
Oh
kill
my
Zarya,
God.
and then you don't die here, and then your team can walk out together, and then you could kill them with the picks that you had.
Mm.
But you're playing like you're Doomfist or something.
Yeah, I guess I was playing really sloppy here. I lost a lot of focus and was doing dumb stuff.
He has Shatter too. Or wait, I think he used it earlier. Never mind. He should have Shatter if there was no staggering.
Yeah, he just used it right after I shattered.
Yeah.
Wait, not one.
And he shouldn't have even used it earlier, but
I will play
it's
it.
fine. Somehow we got the point.
Try not to use too many ultis. Fuck. Use all ultis.
There wasn't much to do.
Too many ultis.
Maybe I should have like went forward with my
Try not
team
to use too
instead
many
of just stay on point.
Shield
Them, I guess.
Well, your team needs
Like
to
right
be
there?
together, but like 3 of your teammates are dead. You would have just gone Riptire too. They just had like too many ult. They had Riptire, they had a grab, and your team didn't have an answer. I guess if you play on point and group more, it's easier to kill the tire. And then if you get grabbed, maybe you could hold the full shield to prevent your team from dying to it, maybe. So being grouped would have been better. You're right. There we go. So this whole game, the biggest mistake that you made consistently was that you went so far ahead of your team that you couldn't do anything on Ryan and on Diva.
Mhm.
You're not really playing to your role.
Yeah, I was trying to frag out too much by myself.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start
And
working on that a little bit.
As far as like your team-based game, because like you say you were playing to get better in the team environment, you need to
Yeah.
have more comms. And you need to be able to think about your planning. Like how ults are going to play out, how you need to take a fight, what the next 1, 2, 3 fights are going to look like. Like, you need to think multiple fights in advance when you consider your shot calling. And that is
Okay.
stuff that you will be wanting to practice in solo queue. Because, like, tracking ults and stuff is really hard.
Yeah, that's something that I've been working on. Like, I kind of, like when we're scrimming, I'll try and call it out. Like, okay, I think they have this ulti and they have this ulti. Let's not use all of our ultis. Let's just use, like, I don't know, grab and pulse bomb, for example, and nothing else. Maybe a trance if we need it. But it's something that that we're working on together. But yeah, we're taking it step by step.
Yeah. And, like, bookkeeping ultimates is, like, a team effort, too. But it's something that you still need to work on as a solo skill. Anyway.
Yeah, I learned quite a lot from that video. That's great. Right. Oh yeah.
Well, good, because there's
in-
another video. This is 1080p on OE. There we go. Another solo queue. This time we're on Orisa.
Your safety is my primary concern.
This is no time for standing around.
Oh, I could maybe have seen the team comp here. Oh, not everyone picked yet. Great.
You know, on Orisa, I really don't know if... I don't feel like I'm doing much. I just feel like I'm existing.
Same.
One. Round one. Capture the objective.
I think I use comms here a little bit more. Like, I called out when I was pulling and stuff like that.
I would try. So when you're playing Orisa, right? Every time you're making a shield, it's a commitment to where your team can play for the next few moments. The other team isn't showing anything aggressively right now. I would take the time to try and make a push more towards the middle of the map, because then you have more control over the point, the open field. Like, if the other
Okay.
team decided that they want to start fighting in here, and like, it's clear they don't have Lucio, because your team doesn't, and they are not here yet, then if you could take the time to go into here, then you control this area, and then you could oversee the full field. But you also need to see what they're on, and we see at least a Zarya, and we see a McCree and Hog. I think you were able to see that before. So you know they're not on dive. So if they're not on dive, then you don't need to, like, worry about having, like, a lot of cover at your back. So you could play in the open and just play shield. I don't even think they're playing a shield hero. I think they're on Zarya Hog. This is fine. They have the point, but it's fine. This happens a lot. Like, this is the thing that I'm worried about whenever you, like, don't go, like, in the open. Because by you going into the gallery room to make your first shields and start playing from there, you let them have control of this area, which lets them have the point first. Because then they're going to get on point and start taking cover. And then, because you're risky, you have to push in slowly. That's why I would try to take more control of the middle. But it's fine because your team's getting enough kills that you could work slowly, but you need to work slowly here.
Okay, guys. There's more in that room.
We have the point. What are they on? I saw you hold tab. I need to see this tab. You need to be holding tab like a lot more. So there's Zarya Hog. Oh my god, that comp is ugly, dude. So when they're playing a comp that doesn't have shields, you want to be able to, you want to play in the open. Like this kind of shielding, like you don't want to play in close quarters. Close quarters is the only way they can function because they don't have shields, so they need physical cover. So this
So
map,
always like try and put my shields out in open areas.
well, you want to be in the open, but you still want to have cover for yourself. But you want to force the other team to play out in the open field.
Okay.
Like this is pretty fine too.
I'm gonna pull middle.
That's good. Well, that's a reset. Don't need to use anything here. Ugh, the stuttering. Not a big deal. Okay, so the other team is just getting rolled at this point. But now would be another good time to practice your bookkeeping. So when you hold that tab screen, hold it for a bit longer. Please. Okay. There we go. So, you know, we have Bongo, we got Deadeye Trance, so kind of safe from stuff. Do they have Grav yet? Probably. Been long enough, I would assume. They have this combo. I assume they have Trance and more ult. They haven't used anything. They used Pulse Bomb last fight, so she doesn't have it. So I'm gonna just assume that they're working on 5 ults, just to be safe. So this is again where you decide to make this play because of the game timer. It's like they have to win like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 fights. You only need to win 1. This does not need to be the fight where you win. You just only need to win 1 in any of the next 4 fights. So you can make the call, and it's more important to make a call like this in a team environment than solo queue. But you can make the call to say, we don't need to win this. Just say, we need to draw out their big combo. Because like even if you blow all of your ults, even if they only had Trance, Grab, and Whole Hog, there's still a chance that even if you go even on ultimates, you still lose. Because that's the kind of ultimates that could one ult could nullify like 3.
Okay.
So the safer play.
I don't do too much.
Yeah.
I think about it.
It's really an American thing to have the mentality of like, we need to win every fight. We need to show them we're the best. We're not going to lose the point ever. But like the thing about Overwatch is that losing one thing, like there's multiple resources. The capture percentage is a resource. Your ultimate charge is a resource, and you're trading the objectives for the ultimates. But Americans don't like to think in those terms because they want everything. They want to have all the ults, they want to use all the ults, they want to kill all the people, and they want to give no objective percentage to, you know, dominate the other team. But this is a part in the game where you can make the checkmate play, where you say, we only need to win 1, they need to win 4. It doesn't need to be the next fight we win. We're going to trade objective time to draw out their, like, massive playmaking ultimate abilities, because they are forced to use it, because if they don't do anything, they lose. And then on the next fight, we let our ult advantage speak for itself and just press Q, and then we win the game. Now, there is a chance, because the other team has proven that they're not amazing, that you just win here anyway. I would not put that past you, or past the other team, so it's still totally likely.
Tracer trying to get on point.
But the smartest thing to do, to guarantee the win, what is going on over there?
Did I just get solo grabbed?
So your Reaper gets solo grabbed. Zen Trance is literally nothing. And then
This is master rank, by the way. Let's not forget that.
So like I say, it's still possible that they lose because they've proven they're not the best team. But like in a scrim environment or in like top 500 environment, the smartest play would be to just concede to gain a better advantage later.
I think I ended up switching to
Stay Orisa or
Monkey.
go Monkey for this point? You guys tell me.
Like probably after the first push.
Alright. I'm gonna risk it on Ruins.
Is Orisa okay to play on Ruins, or should I be playing different heroes?
I think it's okay, though a lot of people doubt it. It's okay to just dive too. The thing about like Orisa on Koth that I will say is that the first fight, Orisa's fine. If you lose the first fight, Orisa's really hard to retake a point with. On some maps more than others. On maps where you can like actually get like good coverage, as you approach slowly, it's fine. But like on this map, especially if the other team runs Widow, it's a little difficult to retake because there's so many angles for Widow that your shield isn't going to nullify it. Whereas some other maps, it's really easy to play Orisa into Widow because your shield can cover like the only 1 or 2 Widow angles that Widow would use. But this map, she has a lot more flexibility, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's fine, they're playing Ryan. I don't even know if they're on Widow. We got a kill. I like this play. Okay, I don't like that shield. I would have stayed on top. I would have stayed up here and just been like, I'm going to eventually kill you all. Because by going down onto the point like you do, you're putting a clock on yourself and your team that they need to do something while you're tanking before you die. Because the whole enemy team is right here. If you stay up here and shield, they can't do anything about you. But during this time, while they're down a healer, you will like grind down their shield, you'll pull some people, you'll draw their attention. And if things ever get bad, it's like not that hard to take cover. Like even if it's just behind this pillar. And if they do anything to look at you, then your team from the other side, you're basically flank Orisaing right now. Because the Rind has to turn to shield you from like your constant damage, your team will just go in and kill. Like, this position's pretty good, but you go down and it's like...
Just fucked it up, yeah.
Yeah. So now you have to move, and you die.
McCree's one.
Nice.
Turn down the quality stream he's watching. See if that works. Wait, where did Discord go?
I think it's just the video itself, honestly. I was trying new settings and it didn't really work out. Like, I actually recorded this on OBS.
Yeah.
It's my first time using OBS to record.
Still trying. Let me
Okay.
see if turning off screen share makes it look any different. Turns out turning off screen share does not make it look any different, so I think you're right. I'll just put it back there. So what happened here? You got grabbed. Oh, you went to monkey. That's fine. Kind of like what I said. A bit easier to retake. I don't think there's much for you to do though. Also, you're kind of up ahead of your team. Just a little bit. They're here now, but now it's time to get grabbed. This is all fine. There's nothing that your team can really do without trance to deal with a graviton. If you're like hyper shot calling and you know that they have graviton, you would probably just call for a dry fight. Because unless you had trance, you can't really trade anything for their grav.
I was playing this pretty late too, like all my games yesterday, and I think it was probably like 3 or 4 a.m. And normally like everyone's really tired
right on
and
the right,
no one's really
right?
saying much. But I tried a little
Perfect time
bit to
for a
sneak.
tracer. Taking it slow. Oh no! Follow up on the hook. Like
Yeah, I
we
got a
hook
little
on
bit ahead of myself
Moira,
there.
and you know she's gonna fade and go backwards. So that should be your main target, because everyone else is going to have their cooldown still. Like, you're gonna go after McCree, but he flashes you, and he probably still has roll. You might still get him though. You tried to roll. Okay, we got him eventually. We got the Moira too. But I don't even think you would have to ult. I think you ulted because, you know, you're low. And you would have had to ult anyway if you didn't get heal. But I would still focus on the healer. Your Tracer takes care of it, thankfully, but when you see no ally bubble and Mora no fade, that should be like your primary target.
Yeah, true.
Because if this primal reach went any differently and McCree gets away, then like you do actually nothing. But that Mora is like 100% dead. She has no protection,
Well played.
and she's a bit more higher priority target.
Jag vet.
My ultimate ability is ready.
Oh my god. She can poke. You should be target calling, by the way.
Yeah.
That's really important for Winston. Because, like, you went after Ryan, but you don't ever kill Ryan there unless you're target calling him and your team focuses him. But if you do, it's right to go on Ryan. And the healers.
I think I used my bubble a little too much when I really shouldn't be.
Let's see. Oh, like, well, here you bubbled, I think, because you were low. But yeah, no one was looking at you. But you don't want to die to McCree. But he wasn't that close. That's fine. Then, like, not use bubble there. Then you would want it here. Then you wait a bit. That bubble did nothing. Okay, yeah, these bubbles got no value. But, like, your whole, like, your little, hide and seek thing up here.
Yeah, I was hoping that Genji wouldn't see me, and then I could go for a flank on the Genji and take him out of the fight early.
It's kind of unfortunate that McCree can shoot you and you can't even see him too.
Yeah.
So that's just like micro game knowledge. And you'll
Something I like to do on Monkey a lot. I'll just hide and then wait.
Yeah, it's good.
See if I can spot out Genji or Zen, an easy target.
It's good, but there are better spots to do it than that spot. Down on Lucio. Don't have a choice, gotta ult. Try to get combos. You could have gone for Ryan if he doesn't have charge. Trying to get him off the map. Whatever. Wasn't our map, clearly. Back on Orisa for the well.
This is where I just feel like I'm just existing and not really doing anything.
Well, I can tell you right now, for his playing Monkey, you just need to practice habitually shot calling. Or not shot calling, but target calling. I mean, you want to practice shot calling too for your team. But that's a thing that, like, there have literally been times where, like, I'm in training mode and I call out things like I'm ulting or I'm jumping or whatever, just because it's such a habit engraved into my brain. Like, you want to get at that point because then you don't have to think. Go for a halt, but so do they. This is why you want to do the CSGO shield. Get shield advantage early. Playing on cover. Yours goes down first, unlucky. Now you don't have your value generator Roadhog, so we're from there. I actually think you could have won that if you would do the CSGO shield.
What's that?
Oh,
CSGO shield.
Oh, it's I'll show you. Wait, does my screen like game show up?
Nope.
On the stream?
See DMs.
DMs. No, it's showing up on the stream.
Oh yeah. Never mind. I'm looking at it through Discord.
Yeah. Wait, where do I go? All right, here. Create. Jeez. Oops. So what you want to do as a growing Orisa player, I'll just do King's Row as a good example. I don't actually have a reference for the one on Ilios well. Also don't know which one it is, and it would take me forever to figure it out. But just go into games. Oh god, I'm on the wrong side. There's a faster way. Oh yeah. So you go into games in the custom just on your own, and you try to find places where you would want to shield. So in this case, on King's Row, I'd really like a shield right here for the opening fight, right? Well, find a place somewhere where you could snugly fit your body. For me, I do it right here. I should probably learn to do it right here now that I think about it.
It's a little delayed on stream for me.
Yeah. So then you just find a spot, and then you find a spot in the air somewhere, match your HUD or your gun up with something.
Actually, your
throw a
gameplay
shield.
stuck too. Even chat's saying it.
Oh. Okay, let me fix the thing. Duh. Why did it do that? Okay. I don't know why it does that with display capture. So anyway, you go into map, and you find a spot somewhere that you could snugly fit yourself in a corner or whatever, so you always know where you are. You look for somewhere in the sky where you could like match up your crosshair or part of your HUD. Like right now I look at my ultimate indicator and I see where it says left shift. It's right between this and this. So I do that, I throw a shield, see where it goes. Perfect, almost. I can just shoot a little more left and bam, now I have a shield here. And the reason why you want to do that is so that when you come out of the gate and you do this thing, you're walking up here, shield isn't being used, and then you come out and bam, now your shield is here. And then they instantly spam it, and then you have another one already. And the reason why that's important is because in that fight on Ilios, you took a shield battle with even shield. So both Orisa's shield broke at the same time, then you both went for halt hooks and you both missed. But if you did the CSGO shield and you had a shield there already, you would already have your next shield, and then they would not. And then you
It's the
would just
type of
call...
angle that I need, like on Ilios, to do that.
Yeah, you just have to go and practice it.
Okay.
Like, or just trial and error. Like the one I do is like right here or here, and it's like the same thing. I just literally figured out this one the same way. It's just trial and error. And like you could do it for every map. Like there's another one that I do here. You just walk into this corner, and then I will wait until the right side of my crosshair, which is specific to me, but you could find your own reference, lines up with this little line. And then the top of my crosshair lines up with this little branch. And then you just throw the shield, and hopefully it'll land like about where the point is. Well, it makes this shield. You could throw it a bit farther and it'll go on the point, but then you can start playing, you know, to push them into the pit. And that's the thing you do. You just do that on every map as much as you can to try and find spots where you would want shields, and then you go back, try to find it, whatever. So as far as Ilios is concerned, I mean, I'm going to go over this myself on stream probably later because I want to revise my CSGO shield spots. But for you, you also need to learn to figure out how to do that on your own. Because, you know, as a good coach, I can't just give you all the answers. I got to teach you how to find your own answers. But hey, now you know the King's Row one.
Yeah, I'm going to use that a lot. King's Row is in the open division thing.
Yeah.
Open division map set.
Good.
I think like my worst map is probably Ilios, like, to be fair. Like I just always end up not playing well on it. But I always do end up playing Monkey most of the time instead of Orisa, because I've only just started playing Orisa. Pretty much because my team needed one.
Do you... Wait, so you've only played around Winston for like most of your life?
Yeah. Yeah. Starting, I mean, I was a DPS main from like season 1 all the way to like season 6. And 7, 8, 9, I played a lot of Winston Diva. But now, like this season and the season before, it's been Rhine and Monkey mainly, and only this season have I started playing Orisa a lot more. But I do enjoy her. I just feel like I'm not doing too much.
Pulling up a thing. I recommend, if you're going to be playing a hero with more aim intensive mechanics, that you get yourself an aim trainer. You could go Kovacs aim trainer or aim hero, whatever you prefer. Aim hero is more abstract. Kovacs is more, you know, real
Are these free?
situations. No.
Oh, okay.
You
Kinda
want to
broke.
pay for coaching, you could pay for an aim trainer. But I do recommend either of these, really. Kovacs has more customization, aim heroes just more practice your muscle memory. Whatever, you get either of those, because if you're fresh to Orisa after you've played, you know, nothing but Ryan Winston, you really need to get your aim mechanics up, because it actually matters on this hero.
So aim hero, and what was the other one? You say?
What was it? Kovacs aim FPS aim trainer.
All right.
Very marketable name, I know. That's why it only has 32 reviews. Meanwhile, Aim Hero has like billions. But this has a bit more function. And more realistic scenarios that you could apply even to Overwatch. Like, I could just fire it up right now, really, if I really want. They do allow you to practice Orisa's speed kind of things.
That's perfect.
So like in this example, this is a Genji thing, and I'm playing okay, it's not full screen, but I could blink because this is a Tracer 1v1 duel.
Wait, so you just put in the hero name, or like what hero you're playing?
It has like different situations. Like here, I could do McCree. Like, and now I'm McCree shooting a thing against a Pharaoh.
I love how they called him McCoy in this.
Yeah,
game.
I know. They had to, you know, call it whatever. But then I did my roll, whatever. I think I have a flashbang. You get the deal.
Yeah. No, this is really good. I had no idea this existed.
You could try one of those. Yeah, Kovacs trainer doesn't even look like they wanted to sell it, but Aim Hero is clearly like the marketable one of the two, but
What the fuck?
Was that one Kovac?
they're both in development. Yeah, that was Kovac, the one I showed.
Okay.
Aim Hero,
I'll probably get that one then. It's just
you
got
can get
Overwatch
either
heroes
or.
on it.
As long as you just practice your muscle memory, they were both helpful. But they're both in development. It's not like either of them are finished products. Big. Okay, it turns out that wasn't very big. It's a good bongo, at least. You put it behind a wall instead of out in the open. Punch him. Oh, that works too. Big ult.
I can never really get. Like, I'm not good at pulling people into the well ever. I feel like I always mistime it.
People have gotten better at not getting wrung out into the well these days.
Get ready.
Because now that Orisa is a bit more popular, especially on this map, people are just starting to learn. I don't expect to get ring outs ever unless they like really misposition. You should just play to get ults for your hog to get a hook.
They're all going left side, be careful.
Like right now, none of them are going to move close enough into the well that you would ring them out. That was good kiting. Do not overcommit.
You can play on point, but you...
This is probably a little too far up for you to play.
Alright. Okay.
Like, part of the whole ringing people out into the well thing, just because you don't do it doesn't mean that they're not scared of it. Like, they know, okay, I can't sit here and get wrung out by the thing. Oh. You can't just sit here and get wrung out. So they know that they're going to play farther away from the well than they normally would, which cuts out their mobility options. So by you not being on point, they're just going to be like, oh, Riss is not here. I could do whatever I want around the well. So it's zoning. It's the threat of your crowd control is crowd control. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So like where I'm standing right now on the screen, is that a good place to stand, or should I be?
It was there because you had an advantage for a bit.
Okay.
But now you open yourself up to flanks a bit, but you can get flanked either way. Like if you could sit there and survive and push them back, then it's fine. But it gives them, it's the same thing with what the heck was the map? Nepal Bridge, where they had better access to cover than you did. But they kept fighting, so they were actually at a disadvantage, so it was okay for you to be up there for a bit. But once they retreated, you would want to retreat, so that way they don't come out with fresh shields, fresh everything, while you still have to run away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Oh, focus doom.
Who's your one?
Whatever. You're in another situation where you're 99%. You can maybe.
I guess I
get
should
two
be okay.
fights.
Ulti's here too.
And you probably don't get 2 fights. Probably only get 1.
Analyzing previous combat performance. Group up.
You need to. No, you bongoed out in the open.
Left side is Doomface Genji.
You would do the bongo like you did last time. So that way they can't shoot it, you know. It's gonna be close. Never mind. Your team does it.
We'll play. Push forward a bit. Push
Well,
forward.
that's a report, by the way, in the chat.
I'll play it, guys.
Alright. So I can see what you mean by the whole, you feel like that you're just, existing there.
Yeah.
But you could be existing better. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So like, what should I be doing differently a little bit?
Well,
what do you
one,
think?
you should learn to stack shields, I guess. And two, you still need to keep up your communication and your shot calling. Like, you should still be focusing on tab. Like, a lot of the things that you were doing on Orisa was, like, mostly fine once you have your position established. Oh, by the way, Aspen is now hosting me with up to 414 viewers in the middle of my coaching session, but that's fine.
So there's another 440 people watching my shitty gameplay.
Yeah,
Great.
nice. Well, it's okay, because we just finished it. Well, I mean, this VOD. Unless you have another VOD you wanted to go over.
Those are the only ones I've uploaded, but I've learned so much. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
thank you. Like, I appreciate it.
So, let's go over... Where's my notepad? So, here's the things that we were going to talk... You played, what? Diva? You played Winston. You played Ryan. And you played Oriso. So, with Diva, you need to recognize your role as being, like, the main tank. Despite what people would tell you in solo queue, or, you know, the casters in Overwatch League would tell you. Diva, when you're playing dive, is effectively the main tank. So you need to guide your team, on rollouts with their matrix, so that way no one gets picked off, right?
Mhm.
And you also need to coordinate with your monkey, which usually just means be behind your monkey. By the way, being like with your team is like, oh, I guess everything issues here.
So could I like run like if my team is gonna play in a scrim or something, we run diva and then another off tank? That'd be like
No,
would
you
that
still need a
work?
barrier.
Okay.
Like off tank doesn't mean doesn't have barrier, and main tank doesn't mean has a barrier. It just
Okay.
means that like you are dictating where your team can walk, and the other person is there to like do damage, mostly.
Mhm.
Of course, D.Va does a lot of damage, but you know, at the end of the day, they're arbitrary terms. So, also don't stagger so much. Call for resets more. Press tab more re. Those are things that apply to every hero. For Winston, target calling should be a habit, even in solo queue when you're not playing with a team. And I never see you do any like meme bubbles where you just bubble for absolutely no reason. Like you had reasons every time you bubbled, even if it didn't work out, but at least you thought about it. So that's good. But you need to like call dives as well. And targets when you do see them. In a team environment, calling an initial dive target as Winston is not easy. And I would not recommend your team force you to do that, but sometimes you can. Like, for example, that time where you hooked, or your Roadhog hooked the Mora and she immediately faded, that's instant call dive on Mora and just go.
Yeah.
And target call Mora and comms until she's dead.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
For Reinhardt, need to look behind you. So that you, for teammates, so you know when you're overextending and when you're not. You could use, like, you know how you could hold left click while you're holding shield to turn your camera?
Wait, left click and wait, say that again, sorry.
I'll show you.
Okay.
I don't actually do this, but some people find it useful. If you're holding shield and you hold the left click, you can move your camera, which is kind of neat. But for me, I just like flick backward.
I had no idea that existed.
Yep, that exists. You could do that, and you could keep walking in whichever direction that you're holding. So if you need to like move and look, then you can do that. But for me, I just legit just like flick and see if there's people around, and that's okay. But you know,
I just
people
hold
are
left
actually...
click when I shield?
Yeah, you just hold left click when you're shielding, both mouse
How
buttons.
have I not known about that?
I don't know. It was in the patch notes once, and they never added any kind of feature for it anywhere in the game. Because Blizzard, good UI. Which setting do I have for the walk? Good question. This thing is off. Movement relative to camera during barrier free look is off. So if I hold W, Ryan keeps moving forward. That's just, it's personal preference. Either of them would work, really. Coaching. Let's look behind your teammates. Get value out of your barrier. For once. Like, when you have advantage, like, even when you don't, if it's just a normal fight, like, you have to think of your barrier. Like, think of, like, barrier becomes team damage. While also nullifying other team's damage. Because that's what your shield does. So it also means you have to think, is me holding my shield right now actually letting my team do damage? Are they behind me? Are they able to do anything? If not, then you don't need to hold your shield. But like during those fights on Nepal, like your team was fighting and the other team was doing damage. So by you getting the value from your barrier, that's 2,000 less damage that they're doing. And during that time where they're doing nothing, your team is going to get damage freely and not die. And you just need to see this as like a transaction where like I have 2,000 points in my shield meter that I need to cash in to let my team do damage without punishment.
All right, got it. Nice.
And with Orisa, consider your shield as a commitment, which basically just means you want to be a little more greedy, I guess, with how you decide to place your shields on like first fights, so that way you can get more map control so they don't just walk around you. Practice micro stuff like CSGO shields, etc. On these maps in particular, on Ilios, it's like kind of whatever. Orisa's it gets more intensive when you're playing on payloads, I would say, or control points. On the Koth, it's just like, well, hopefully you get onto the point, and if you do, then you're good. And it's for like team play stuff, because you were playing Hog Orisa on the well, but you didn't set up any kind of team plays. You need to like communicate plays. Like literally, you can carry Ilios entirely by winning the first fight by telling your Hog, hey, I'm gonna throw a halt here, can you please hook him? And if it works, you kind of like win the game. Potentially.
Yeah. Okay.
So these would be the things that you would want to focus on.
Yeah, I wish I recorded scrim vods now instead of solo queue vods. But I've learned so much from these.
Yeah, and I just added to practice your comm habits, because again, you say you're practicing for a team environment, not just for solo queue, and because of that, you want to be playing as if you're in a team, even if that means like you're like I said, your team in solo queue is only 50-50 chance that they're even in voice, but you're not communicating for them to hear it. You're communicating so that you could practice the habits of saying, I'm doing this, or they have this. That way it's in your mind, because the more that you say that like they're gonna have these ults, let's do this, the more it's going to be in your mind, so that the more that you play, the more aware you are that, hey, they did this, I need to be able to communicate this, and that's going to translate into scrims, because that's an individual thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense. It's true.
Okay.
All right.
I think that should cover a lot.
Yeah, that's covered so much. I'm gonna practice those. What's it called? Those CS:GO shields.
Yeah.
Like, see how it goes. That game is that aim thing. It's called Kovacs Aim Trainer.
Yes.
Right.
You can get
All
that
right,
or
I'm gonna
Aim
look into
Hero.
that.
They're both good.
All right.
And
Thank you, man. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, no
This is
problem.
great. It's gonna be up on YouTube, or will I be
Yeah, I
able
was
to
gonna say
download it on-
I'm gonna put this. I'll make a highlight out of the Twitch video because there's no music or anything, and I could just transfer it over to YouTube, and it will be nice and easy. And I could do that
nice.
like relatively soon without any hassle.
All right, that's great. I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Nice, and you could probably bring it to your team, I guess, and you can
Yeah,
get your
for
team.
sure.
Like again, if you want to do scrim vods or anything, you could just bring those as well.
All right.
Hopefully with a VOD
awesome,
recorder.
man.
I hate looking at scrim VODs from just one person's POV and judging the whole team.
All right. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll try and find some to record our scrims, like from a bird's eye view or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Hope he helps you out, dude.
All right. See you, man. Take
Yeah.
care.